Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's official. The kiddies are going back to school. People are going back to work. Or in Oscar's case, they never left work. They took a weird vacation like the week before Labor Day. And we are here, and we are ready to believe you. This is the Mike O'Mara Show for Tuesday, September 4th, 2018, in the year of our Lord, 2018. We are so glad to be with you.
Anno Domini?
Yeah, I'm thinking in the year of our Lord because I was looking at churches this weekend. Because
Shopping around?
Well, because Carla wants to take the little guy to church again, and I was away for many, many decades, and then I came back and really loved this pastor that ended up being a kind of a nad, and so he's gone now. That's true. They parted ways.
Not the Pennsylvania nad situation.
No,
different
not
type
like
of
that.
nad.
Different kind of nad, but it involves the nads.
That guy's a criminal.
Yeah, it's the guy that I'm talking about. Mine was a fine guy. Liked him a lot, and he disappointed me. But anyway,
don't you hate when a man of the cloth lets you down?
Just wanted to clarify.
Well, it seems to be kind of a theme.
Yeah.
I think really, if we really were to look at theology over the years, I think it happens. I think it happens all the time.
A lot of pressure on them.
You
mean, the flock looks to the shepherd.
No, you're giving them too much credit. No, you do. No, there's no pressure on them. What it is that we put them on a pedestal that we should not put them on.
I see.
Just
both
like
sides.
a doctor or a lawyer. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let me please welcome a special guest panelist on the Mike O'Mara Show, one of the funniest men alive, and a guy that I love, Mr. Rob Mayer is here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Rob and Joe Show.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's great to be back.
Now, he's here because he's come here multiple times. No one probably has paneled on this show more than Rob Mayer. And I mean that because I think you've done it more than your partner Joe has, and we love having you come by, and we go back a long way, and it's always a pleasure. But you're here for a specific reason. Everybody's been to the murder mystery shows. You guys put the heavy duty comedy twist on this a long time ago, and you've been doing this for variants of this. When did it become the 80s? When did it become the back to the 80s thing?
Well, this was, I believe, our fourth show that we've done, and now we've probably done this more than any. It just seemed like the next thing to do because 80s is always always a nostalgia thing. There's always best of the 80s music on the weekends and stuff. And it turned out it's our most popular. We're doing it this weekend at Magooby's, your favorite comedy club name, Mike.
Magooby's Joke House.
This 7:30 and 9:45 this Saturday.
Eat a burger. Have a laugh.
There you go.
Yes.
But it's so much fun because the way the audience is involved in the tie-ins and all the references to the 80s, it's my most fun show to do. It's our show. I think it's the most well-received. Rob,
and it changes every time, right? It's different every single time. That's the way that goes.
Well,
right?
we have 8 different theme shows. So this one, there's places where there's key points in the plots where we have to hit, but every show's different in terms of that the audience will screw up, and that'll be acknowledged.
That's
and just
the part I'm looking
tangents.
forward to.
Yes, we're counting on screw ups. We're counting on it. It just you could see the exact same in theory show 2 times in a row, but it'll be completely different.
When I ask, let me just give you a little promotion 101. Okay. You're an honest man, and I appreciate the honesty. I really do. But when I gave you that softball, but the show changes every time. I did not need that detailed an answer. That the outline of the show is basically the same. No, they're all different. They're all incredibly different. That's the way they go.
That's right.
All different. That's right. The show you see in Las Vegas, Nevada, will be so much better than the one you're going to see at Magooby's Joke House.
Because they'll have Oscar Santana in it.
Yes.
Mike, Oscar Santana wants to remind everybody that the banner is now live on MikeO'MaraShow.com, and they can pick up their tickets as we speak. So if you're listening live or you're watching live on YouTube, get on over. What are you waiting for? You're already going to Vegas.
I'm going to tell you something, Rob Mayer. Our listeners get excited about stuff like this, and this is going to be fun because this is in effect our meet and greet. This is going to be when we show up and we hang out. And what do you do? And I'm asking for a friend of mine. What do you do when you get a particularly problematic audience member? What happens when that's the case? Someone might be in the audience who's just really, really happy that he's not responsible for the show, and he really wants to be obnoxious.
Is this friend? Does this friend is he sort of part of the show, but he doesn't have any real responsibility? Is that exactly what the situation?
How do you wrangle that gentleman?
Did that friend have a long day before the show?
When the security is taking me out by both arms, I mean, what do you mean? I just want to ask Justin.
We welcome.
Just about Mickey. What's going on? Come on.
Oh my God!
We welcome that individual. We encourage that. We want. It can't get too crazy. The more out of control it gets, the more that it ramps up and gets more exciting.
Now, because Justin is obviously doing his day job now and doing the 98 Rock Morning Show, I'd love to chat with him.
Should book him.
Well, we'll book him. Oscar, we'll book him simply based on one factor: ticket sales. That's it. I think it'd be better. I think it'd be better if I went on the 98 Rock Morning Show. That would be
also good. Yeah,
I used to be on that show. I know where those studios are. For God's sakes, I subbed for him one time up there when I was.
It won't be long before you're heading south. You could just stop in.
Yeah, stop in there and stop in here.
It's a great idea. I actually just called in this morning because Justin was talking about the nudist resort gig that they had reached out to him about doing it again, and he mentioned that I had done it and. He was giving information about that.
No, that's something we did back in the 1980s. We did a nudist. Or
back
was it
to the 80s.
96, I believe we did that.
96,
yes.
We did the nudist colony.
The Nude Olympics.
And I like calling it a nudist colony, too.
A colony, yeah.
We call it a nudist colony.
I think they prefer resort, but we like colony.
All right, so here it is.
Cult.
For those of you that are making your plans, and even those of you that might not be coming to our show, this is your chance to get in there and hang out.
Yeah.
We're going to have select audience members playing parts in the show, and it's November 3rd, 7 p.m., the Zapphouse Council Chambers Theater. That's the night after our show. We're doing ours Friday night. They're doing theirs Saturday night, and we're all part of it. It's going to be great. For tickets, click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and you can come out, party. You can laugh. You can solve a murder. It's a lot of fun, and do you guys, if I'm asking detailed questions that are going to ruin the surprise of the show, please tell me. But like when you go into that, show, do you know that day, or is it always pre-planned who the murderer is going to be, or do you make that call kind of on the fly?
No, we know which character is the murderer. It could be a cast member, it could be a actual audience member, but. So we know who the killer is. It could be Dirk Vastrick as we speak.
Okay, all right, very good.
It's calculated, Mike.
It is.
It's calculated. All right,
yeah. There are no accidents.
I'm just checking. And how is Joe Robinson in the show?
Joe does a great job of handing out all the sheets pre-show and giving some announcements and then stepping aside.
Is he going to be there in Las Vegas?
He is going to be there. Joe will actually be leaving that night. He's doing Ravens pregame, so there's a 1 p.m. I guess he's got to be on at 11 a.m.
Oh my God, you got to be.
He's going to take a red eye. So yeah,
and then you got to take a red eye and then just like stare at.
Oh man, you know what's bad about that?
The manic Kirk McEwen for 3 hours.
Exactly.
The next day.
Yes.
What's bad about that? That means that the next day Joe might be low energy.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. You know what? That's okay. That's okay because I know he's a hard worker and he doesn't have to worry that show. I'm sure the other guy he works will do all the prep.
Yeah, Joe.
But anyway,
Joe's arriving Thursday, just like I am, in the whole gang. Justin and everybody.
We'll all enjoy ourselves.
It'll be fun. It'll be.
I'm so excited. Thank you guys for putting this on Saturday. It's going to be amazing.
He's waiting for me to blow the whole thing. I'm like, I'm not.
My entire life.
I'm not going to blow the whole thing.
How's this going to go today?
Why? Why? Everybody's tense today. What's going on? It's fine. We're all friends. We're going to have a good time. I'm just asking about this show.
Have we sold out yet?
This is all I got. So
I called you yesterday. You couldn't get off the phone fast enough.
I called because you work your schedule. You know when you want to get me, you want to catch me 15 minutes after the show's over. That's when you want to catch me. You don't want to catch me on Labor Day at cocktail hour.
Dinner time.
Something going on like with this and stuff like that. We'll get to that in the body of the show. Your wackadoodle hours listen, I appreciate the work ethic. Don't get me wrong, but the work ethic is when you get spurts of energy. You're like, you know what you are? You are the equivalent of a Roomba. the way you work. It could go anywhere, anytime, and it could die for a while, and it could be sitting there, and then suddenly it's 12:30 at night, and the Roomba starts moving again. You drive down to the studio, and you're in Podcast Village for 6 hours.
You go to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening.
No, I've actually. Last night it was 9:30.
And I called you yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday. That is not crazy.
Yeah, we had people over. But anyway, it was, because it's Labor Day, a holiday.
Oscar called me at 5 p.m.
There you go.
That's right. He said, "What's wrong with Mike?"
No, so I mean, there's no need to be nervous. I'm excited. Oscar, tell Rob Mayer.
I am not
how excited I was about the prospect. Will you corroborate the fact that this is what I wanted to do Saturday night?
I am not nervous about the show. I'm not nervous about ticket sales.
I'm talking about my enthusiasm.
You are pumped for it, yes.
This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be there. I wanted to participate in the show. I wanted to see this show that Rob's been involved with, and I was excited about it. And now it's coming true, and I couldn't be more thrilled. They're the funniest guys that we ever have on
Rob,
the show.
How many times have you been in the show?
I think I've done it 3 times.
You've done 3 different ones.
Yeah, I've done the Newly Dead game, that one,
That's
and
the
reunion.
That's the first one I remember. Okay.
Newly Dead. Yeah,
but they're all great, and they're all so much fun. It's a blast. I can't wait to be a part of it again. And
so
to
every
see it
time he
again.
comes back, he gives a different review of a different show. So that's why we knew it was going to be a home run. Like, he loves it.
And the role that we have for you, Mike, I think you're really going to rise to the occasion.
I'm excited.
I think it's going to speak to you.
Nice.
You know, my improvisational theater background, I will tell you, you throw anything you want at me. You throw anything you want.
Look at this guy.
It's going to be
It's yes and Mike.
Yes,
They're-
give him a
they're gonna be
situation,
my
a
peeps.
relationship, and an object.
They're going to be my peeps. The reason I was asking about Joe Robinson's participation is I just was hoping for a scene with him. I just like,
Perhaps a romantic scene.
I was watching the Thriller video, and I did not know where the knife was in the kitchen.
Well, that's why you're going to be. That's why we've put our fingers on you. We're putting our fingers on you for the murder.
Hey, how about a spoiler
I think
alert?
That's what you are. Did I mention I'm getting married?
All right, what? I'm sorry. Why do I look this way when I'm doing Joe Robinson?
I just want to say
That's where Rob is sitting in your imaginary studio.
Ravens pregame.
By the way, I got to listen to that Ravens pregame. It's McEwen and Joe Robinson.
It's
right?
hilarious.
Let me say it's like,
Okay, well, this is going to be probably one of the biggest games of the season, don't you think so, Kurt?
and Kirk goes. Anyway, I'm just having. Hey, it's Tuesday after a holiday weekend. I'm sorry. I'm just having.
Maybe we'll
work
make
with the guy.
Maybe we'll make Kirk McEwen the killer in the, so he can go to prison, and you'll be happy about that.
Hey, you fly McEwen out there. I'll tell you something. I guarantee you can have a good time in Vegas if you bring McEwen out.
You think
He's got a previous record. He already killed a radio station.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is.
You're blaming
who
Kirk.
said that? No.
You are. See,
no.
that's not
That's
right.
not
That's
right.
not
No.
nice at all.
I heard it was the
No.
playlist.
Well,
Too
Kenny
wide?
and I argued about it.
You can't play all those records, Mike, and expect people to listen.
Rob is referencing The Edge, the station where Kirk and I did the morning show for about a year. Did we make it a year or a little over a year?
I
Is
think
that what
just
it was?
under a year, I thought.
Just under a year. Thank you, Rob. But it was, Kenny and I. Kenny thought, and Kenny might have been right. The ratings wouldn't show that he was right. Kenny believed that people that listen to classic rock are wonderful, but he wanted to get the people that would just turn on the radio station and hear something that they loved and stay. My feeling was that the people that were listening to The Edge were already classic rock fans, and it would be nice to get them what they want, which would be deeper cuts and a much wider playlist. So that's kind of where we were coming from on that little count.
Did you ever get any? I've never asked you this. Did you ever make any headway? Because I see where you're coming from. And
No, Kenny wanted to. By the way, I like Kenny King. I see Kenny. I take him out to dinner. He's a good guy. And I don't say that about a lot of program directors, but I like Jeff Bowden. I like Kenny King, and they all got kind of caught up in the same crap that we all did when they. I guess they sold, right? They sold, and when they were bringing in Sam Rogers, when I heard that, it was just like. I said, who's coming in to work here? And they said, oh, it's Sam Rogers. Oh, Sam Rogers. Oh, all right. I mean, I knew. Literally, Katie Powers, your other radio partner,
from
texted me or sent me an email. I forgot which one it was when she heard because Katie's a bit of a radiophile. She keeps tabs on the business. When she heard that he was coming in to run the show, Katie texts me, I am so sorry. I already got the I'm fired text from her. Just when
before
he
you
was
ever
named,
got it?
Oh, because we knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
This guy, within 3 years, the guy canned me twice.
That's
the
right.
guy actually canned me twice. It was a real thrill. But getting back to the murder mystery,
Sounds like you have a vendetta.
it's I hate everybody in radio. A hilarious 1980s themed mystery involving a high school reunion, a 30-year-old time capsule, and murder. Now, listen, if you can come out to see us on Friday, you can certainly make it to this show. We'd like to sell this thing out as fast as we sold our show out. It stars 98 Rock Morning Show host Justin Schlegel, More Broadcasting's Rob Mayer, and Joe Robinson, hosts of the Rob and Joe Show, plus special guests Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, and Oscar Santana. But the real star of the show is you. So let's sell those tickets like little bitty hotcakes. Shall we do that? I think you
said it perfectly. It's going to be a fun show. We're all involved, and also it'll be what we always essentially wanted. The show is the show starts at 8. The doors open at 7, and you're wrapped up by 10. And also, the 7 o'clock hour is going to be fun as a meet and greet, as we always talked about.
Hanging out.
Yep. But before the show?
As not an informal meet and greet. Instead of going somewhere and doing something like we've done in the past, it's always been convoluted.
Right.
We just go there and then we go to the show.
What time does the show
starts
start?
at 8. Doors are at 7 p.m.
I'll be coming in at 1 minute before 8 in a hoodie.
You know how everyone always says that the best things in life are free? Well, that's just communism infiltrating American culture. In America, we pay for things because if we don't, the commies are going to replace every American flag with the hammer and sickle. Do you, our loyal listener, want your independent wealth stolen by Soviet ideals? I think not. So buy the Mike O'Mara bonus show. Pay for your entertainment, like a red-blooded American should. Thank you.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, the best of O'Mara.
Yeah.
They had the original guy, and he was the spokesmodel. He wasn't the guy that invented the chicken.
Well, he didn't invent the actual chicken, but he did invent a cooking process.
So Harlan Sanders, was he the guy?
Yes.
Was he really the guy?
The secret to Kentucky Fried Chicken is fried chicken in oil, but they fry it in a pressure cooker.
Oh,
but the oil is
Rob
in the pressure
Did
cooker.
you see Rob when he did that? He looked like Ed Helms.
Giddy. He's
Did you see what he did?
like,
But they cooked it in a pressure cooker, and his head went.
I've done it. You see, I've done it.
It's smarty pants.
It's
Did
academic.
you ever do that at VCU or in high school? I'd pop you right in the eye when you did that.
You see, that's
shook
why we
your
get
head
along
around
so
like
well
that.
Listen,
now.
Spivak, you're fixing the curve.
No, I never busted the curve. Never retrograding curve.
right.
Promise you. But I did one time do it. I got one of those cookbooks. It's like the secret recipes that you can make at home. And that's when I read
They
about
don't just throw it in a deep fryer?
No, it's a pressure cooker deep fryer. And I can't imagine the danger of perfecting the process of not only superheated oil, but superheated oil under pressure.
That's how my mom makes chicharron.
Makes what?
I'm sorry, I've never talked about chicharron before.
I don't think so.
What's chicharron?
Chicharron is a similar type of chicken that she cooks in a pressure cooker.
Okay.
And frankly,
it's Bolivian fried chicken.
it's Bolivian
BFC.
fried chicken, but it's more like a Mongolian chicken that has soy sauce, 11 herbs and spices. It's amazing.
Really? Tell us all about it. I'd love to hear
Now,
it.
is it fried?
It's baked and then she fries it.
Double cooking process.
Double cooking.
It's like braising, kind of.
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
How long does it take?
My mom wakes up around 4:45 in the morning on your given holiday.
You see, she's found a way to cook chicken
Deep down.
Deep down.
She knocks on everyone's door to tell them what she's doing because she wants us all to feel guilty about not waking up.
Can you describe chicharron? What is the final dish like? It sounds delicious.
It's usually served with a melody of
medley.
Damn it! With a song and some fried rice, which she puts together. Quite frankly,
sounds phenomenal. I mean, I've only experienced one culinary move with you, and that's when you had me over for the barbecue, and you brought meat that had been marinated at your mom's house, I believe.
Yes.
And it was like the best barbecued meat on a grill that I'd ever eaten in my life. I think I ate most of it that was there. Like, it was delicious. So this chicken it sounds phenomenal. It sounds really,
man.
really good.
And when my mom's making chicharron, it's like she's ringing a bell. She'll tell me that to guilt me into coming over. By the time she's done saying it on, I'm in the car driving.
And it's on the bone with the skin and everything.
Fantastic.
Mike, I have brought up chicharron on Wikipedia, and it reads like this. Chicharron is a dish consisting generally of fried pork belly or fried pork rinds, but it may also be made from chicken, mutton, or beef. Chicharron as a dish with sauce is a finger food snack popular in Spain, Latin America, and other places with Spanish influence, like Bolivia. The singular form or term of variant is also used as a mass noun, blah, blah, blah.
So it's a fried product?
Trying to find the...
Yes, also a famous character played by Adrian Garcia / Pantiflas.
Cantinflas.
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 What is his name, Rob? What is it?
Cantinflas. He's most known for Around the World in 80 Days to American audiences.
Cantinflas.
He played Passepartout.
So we didn't find out what the is it fried, baked, broiled? What exactly?
It says,
is it?
you know what it says, and it keeps bringing up that it's similar food. It's similar to pork rinds.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. I'm looking at some right now.
So it might be largely chicken fat that's
Is it
fried.
extra crispy?
Oh, it's fantastic. It is great.
But you're not telling me. You're not
I'm calling my mom
foodie,
right
so
now.
you're
I'm
not
calling my
able
mom
to.
right now.
Jesus,
I'm calling my mom
will you
right
eat the
now.
crap, for God's sake? Come on.
What do you mean, eat it?
Will you eat it?
I don't
What is
look
it?
at it.
Don't just
I
look
eat
at
it.
it. Eat
Rob
it.
Spiewak would be able to describe it down to the very, very last detail, and you can't.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, in the Dominican Republic, chicharron is prepared by washing and drying
Hi, Mrs.
chicken.
Ceballos.
Oh no,
How
don't
are
do
you?
that.
Whoa. Hey, Mom, we're gonna call you back on the air. Are you free?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Love you.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
ciao.
This is great. I will not be Larry. I will finally be able to speak to Mrs. Ceballos as
The chicken is prepared by washing and drying chicken and cutting it into small pieces, which are then seasoned with a mix of lemon juice and salt. The batter is made from flour, pepper, paprika, and salt in a plastic bag in which the seasoned meat is then shaken, then deep fried without removing excess flour or skin.
God, it
So it sounds like an
fantastic.
exceptionally fatty fried chicken, which is perfect.
Mike, I just sent them my home number to Pony. Pony's calling in. You should know a little background before you get into chicharron. My father has left the country once again.
Yes.
He is scheduled to come back. I asked Mom, I was like, when's Dad coming back? He goes, you won't believe this. El noviembre 20. And I said, November 20th, right before Thanksgiving? And she said, sí. She goes, I don't have enough break from him. And I said, what is going on? The man just leaves.
So she is the one. I always knew she was the one.
Right, she's the one.
She wants him to stay away.
Yeah. I think my mom might be on the line now. Are you calling? What's going on? Talk to us.
It is calling now.
Dialing for dollars.
Chicharron in Bolivia is made...
My mom is the
She's
worst.
calling all her friends to tell her she's going to be on the radio.
This is
Chicharron
exciting.
in Bolivia is made of pork ribs seasoned with garlic, oregano, and lemon, then boiled and cooked in its own fat, usually adding beer to the pot for more flavor. Pork,
Totally different dish.
Yeah. Pork chicharron is usually served only on Sundays and is eaten with la yawa, a tomato salsa, and mote, a type of corn.
A totally different dish.
Yeah. The other variations are made with
Here we
chicken
go.
and fish.
All right.
I have to call her to tell her. Mom.
Hello?
Mom, I love you. You got to hang up the house line so we can call you back. Press off on the button. Off.
Off?
Yeah, turn it off so we can call you back on the home line.
Okay, I put it off the TV, you say?
Yeah. No, not
No,
the
the
TV.
TV.
El teléfono de la casa no está atendiendo.
Oh, ya está sonando.
Sí, ahorita te vamos a llamar, all right? Pero tienes que colgar. Okay, I love you, Mom. Bye-bye.
It's so cute when he speaks Spanish.
You think I'm kidding when she calls me to check her email. I have to drive to Olney to check her email. This lady knows nothing about technology.
Well, that's what
This
makes
is
email so
wonderful.
convenient.
God bless her. She goes, oh, it's funny. It's making noise. Yes, because it's off the dial.
This is wonderful. Very, very exciting.
This is my life. Everyone thinks
know.
it's sweet and all chicharron. No.
Does she serve it with homemade bread?
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
I love this woman.
I do too.
Hello.
Mrs. Zaballos, it's Mike from the Mike O'Mara Show. How are you?
I'm doing good, but right now I cross the line.
That's quite all right, ma'am. We are delighted to have you on the show. How is every little thing today?
Very good. Only little nervous break with the storm, you know.
Yes.
Storm.
Are you watching the hurricane coverage down in the Carolinas?
Yes, I do. It made me more nervous. That's why I grow with my husband field in natural disaster. I grew all my life with my kids
She grew
in that
up
way,
with,
you know?
with my dad going
With
to
natural
hurricanes.
disasters.
Yeah,
I
sure.
understand. You don't need to prop me up
I'm
on
sorry,
this. I know what she's
you know
doing
what
here.
she's saying.
Hey, you know what we were talking about, Mrs. Zaballos? We were talking about chicharron. Oscar was describing chicharron and talking about how wonderful it was. And, you know, Rob and I, we love food. Your son eats a bit, but he doesn't eat like we do. And when he was describing the chicharron, it just made my mouth water, and it sounds like it's fantastic. Is that the best thing that you make for your family? Is that their favorite dish, chicharron?
No, it's not the best thing, but once in a while I do it because it's hard to do it, you know?
Right.
It takes
It's hard.
a long time.
Yes, it takes a long time.
All
Yes.
depends what you want: chicken, chicharrón de pollo, or chicharrón de pork.
Oh,
Okay,
look, different options.
Oh, so you make pork and you make chicken, and they're different dishes, right?
And different dishes, I can do one day one thing, I can do another day another thing. But those two dishes, they are hard. But the chicken the other day I did, I made it. They were, for many years I don't do it, and then was good. They were crazy about, because when they were little, younger, I did more often, you know.
And
Do you
then
think,
stopped
Mrs.
loving us.
Zaballos, do you think you would be able to teach Oscar's new bride, Shannon, how to
Yes.
make chicharron? Do you think you would be able to teach her that? Oscar, do you think she'd be willing to learn how to make
I
chicharron?
think she would try at least. And Mom, in the
I
past,
am open. I'm open to teach her anything she wanted. Nobody, when I marry, I don't know anything.
Oh, you
I am-
learned
I
after
am
you
in
learned
favor
after you
for
got
her.
married.
until the man taught you everything, right, Mom?
No. Because you love that person, you learn. My mother-in-law was excellent cooker, and then from her, she never teach me, but I look at what she did.
Oh, so you observed your mother-in-law and you were able to learn that way.
But you
Was she
wanted to make
mis-
Dad happy because he's the man of the house and ran the home.
Mrs. Zaballos, let me ask, has Shannon showed interest in cooking or doing things around the house to you? Has she asked you any questions?
In the kitchen, not much, but it's different now. She's the way that my son.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
learning a lot. I am very happy with her.
Oh, you're
Very,
happy
very
with her.
happy.
That's what I was getting at. That's wonderful.
Has she ever
That is-
observed or asked questions about the vacuum cleaner?
Hey, Rob, you got her.
That's
there
good.
You go.
Thank
That's
you.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That's
Don't be mean.
No, don't be mean. I am curious, though. You say that chicharron is not the greatest thing you cook. What, in your opinion, Mrs. Zaballos, is the greatest thing you cook?
Paella.
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 Oh, God, the best.
God. That's one of my favorite dishes. I would love to. I'm just going to come up to Washington, D.C. I'm going to go
You
drive
have
out
to
to
come.
Albany.
Let me know. I do one excellent barbecue. The way I do it with good beef is the best thing. Good costillitas, you know,
Ribs.
costillas.
Ribs.
That's what. You know what? I'll tell you what. Next
Short
time I'm
ribs.
in Washington, instead of staying at a hotel, I'll stay with you, Mrs. Zaballos, and you'll
Stay
cook
with
for
me.
me.
I have a lot of room here.
That's
Don't
wonderful.
worry.
And I'll do something to earn my keep, like I'll power wash your deck or something like that. I will.
No, my
I will-
deck is shiny now.
Oh, why is your deck? Who power washed your deck, Mrs. Zaballos?
I pay somebody.
Oh, God love you. Chicharron. I someday I really hope to sample, have a sample of all of your wonderful cooking. Yes, Rob.
While we're talking chicharron, this may shock you, Mrs. Zaballos, but Oscar was horribly vague when he was describing the process.
Yes, thank you,
is
Rob.
the meat both baked then fried? Is that how you cook it?
Yeah, the chicken. The chicken, what I do is I cut in pieces. The big pieces you have it like a leg.
Yes.
I cut in two. Then I macerate it for 2 hours in good wine. And no wine is a strong liquor like a cognac
You.
Yes.
or whiskey or rum.
Oh,
I put it
wow.
for 2 hours.
Rob.
Then I take it off that, and then I fry first with nothing.
Oh my God.
And then I don't fry. I take it off, all the blood they had of the meat,
Right.
and out. Then I put it in the
Pressure cooker.
what I say. I put a black pepper, salt, and then I put it in the flour. No,
Okay.
in the flour is in the maicena is like
It's moving.
argo,
It's moving.
you know.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I fry.
Oh, man.
Then then sauce, the soy sauce. This is more like stylish in Spanish. There's more Chinese food, my Chinese chicken,
Yeah.
but a different way. You know, when I I learned in my country when I was.
And what do you serve it? What do you serve it with?
With chaufa rice. It's a fried rice.
Wow.
You know what?
So even though it has
My
an
God.
Asian flavor to
My
it,
arteries are starting to clog just hearing this. This is fantastic.
even though the flavors are Asian, the cooking process is Bolivian.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name is only the Asian, but the cooking, what I do is Bolivian. It's different from any chicken you can buy in the Chinese.
I've never had
place.
it anywhere else, Mom. I love it.
Well, before we let you go, thank you for that beautiful
Wonderful.
description of the food. That's,
Yeah.
I mean,
welcome.
that's making.
I am
yeah.
more welcome. Everybody in your work, they can come. Tell me how many people. I used to have 80 people.
Oh, wow.
100 people in my home, and then they were welcome. Everybody loved my food.
We're going out there to eat.
Absolutely.
When I come back to Washington, we'll be up there in a couple of years. I'm really excited about that. And,
You
I
have
am.
to come with your wife, your children.
You know what, Mrs. Zabayos, it's hard for me to leave Florida once I get down there. It really is. It's really hard to get me out of that state. But you know what? I'll tell you something. Get a few more hurricanes, you get me out of there permanently. So anyway, that's wonderful. You know what? That sounds like, Rob.
Unreal.
How great does that
Mom,
sound? Delicious.
I can taste it in my
but
mouth.
at the root of this, Mommy, it's to make sure that your man is happy, right? That your
Yes.
man is taken care of, that he's fed, that he understands how important he is, right? The man in the
Yes,
world.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, all women
see?
should know that.
No,
All women
don't
should
boss me
understand.
around. But
Yes.
I will do the nice thing.
And,
Yeah, don't boss her around, remember, but she'll do nice things for you.
That's right.
And now,
Oh,
do I
my
understand
husband.
that Mrs. Zabayos, that Mr. Zabayos has left and he's gone for a while? I know you're very disappointed that he's gone. That's enough. That's all I need. God bless you, Mrs.
bingo.
Zabayos. That's it. That's a bingo. Thank you very much, Rob Spiewak. That's the
Okay,
bit right
bye-bye.
there.
Bye,
That's
Mrs.
it.
Z.
Hi, I'm Ina Garten. My favorite podcast, The Mike O'Mara Show, is incredibly funny. But sometimes when I want to listen, my hands are full. Literally. It's not easy to download a podcast with a fistful of roasted eggplant spread covered with a reduced garlic aioli. Or if you're 10 little piggies or cradling a standing rib roast with a crispy Gruyere Yorkshire pudding. That's why when I'm in the Barefoot Contessa kitchens, I rely on Alexa. How easy is that? All I have to say is, hey Alexa, play the Mike O'Mara Show. And the most recent episode plays right away. How easy is that? Even Jeffrey can do it. And I actually really hate him. In fact, we really hate each other. It's like being married to a hobbit. How tragic is that? TMOS and Alexa, they go together like little thin slices of salami and caperberry. Now back to my custard.
The best of O'Mara.
It's
My
funny,
chest.
you had mentioned that you had a couple really bad weekends up there, and I thought the thing about the weekend is you don't have that opportunity every day to come in and sort of vent. And that's probably why
Right.
the weekends are tough.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to get it off my chest,
Good.
and stay tuned. I'll let you know
Yeah.
what's going on. Now, you know, I'm not telling you anything that ain't in our heads, and absolutely true. But we're very, very happy to be here, and I have to say that yesterday there is a video that's floating around, and I really, Oscar, maybe you can help work me through this. There is you can say what it's called. It's a social media post that we put out.
Oh,
with,
it's our
the three with the three of
IGTV.
us.
It's our
What is
IG.
it?
It's our Instagram television IGTV post. It's on our Instagram page, and
And we've
There's
shared it to
something there.
Facebook as well.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
just if you're on social media, just search for the Mike O'Mara Show. You'll see it there.
The band got back together yesterday, and I think I saw probably one of the greatest examples of our dynamic as three guys just doing a show together, and it was so funny. It starts out with Rob telling a wonderful story about picking up his son, and then Oscar picking a scab, and then it goes on and on and on, and it is an absolute perfect example of what this show is and how this show works. And I think you really enjoy it. The reason I mention that is that if you see it, find it, share it with people, get it
Send
out
it to
there.
someone who you think will love it, because it's so much fun. It's fun for me to watch because I can't see both of your faces during the show at the same time. Just can't do it. And it's fun that we're all stacked up. We can see each other at the same time.
It's a completely different
You make
way.
a lot of faces.
It's completely a different way. And it's a fun way to consume the show.
It is.
And it's a great way to expose people to the program. So Mike's right. That's why this is the perfect medium to share it on.
Yeah.
Share it on Facebook, share it where you have it.
There are occasions that, I pause when I'm doing this show and I take a look at the work that we do every day and really realize that we've got something that's different. That we've got something that is not your run-of-the-mill podcast. It's not your run-of-the-mill radio show. It really is something where we just have a lot of fun because we do it in such a way that is not jive and it's not over the top.
It's not mean.
But it sure is funny. And there's a dynamic here that was just was just Oscar doing something visual. And then it all went to hell. And it was pretty special stuff. We were talking yesterday about Rob's upcoming Disney cruise.
Yes.
And I was very, very surprised that what I thought was just an innocent discussion where I said to a lot of people that were giving you advice about Disney cruise, were they childless? Because I always get a kick out of the people that go to theme parks as adults. And there are tons of people that do. Yeah. I have to say that. But apparently we hit a nerve.
A tsunami. I believe so. Tsunami of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
A subset of our audience, and it doesn't surprise me. But these people were quite offended that we were. I don't know if we were summarily mocking people that go to theme parks without kids, but I think for me, having a child is one of the reasons you do that. But I guess there are plenty of people that go to the greatest place. What's Disney called? The
happiest place on earth. Happiest place on earth.
Happiest place on earth. They go and and then. Did you get the people in that thread that said we go monthly or something like that?
Well, the original post comes from a listener called Toby White, and he writes, "Why is it wrong for adults with no kids to enjoy Disney?"
Now I should stop right there because we're going to break this down a little bit.
Okay.
I am not going to prejudge anyone that is asking that question just because they have the name Toby. I'm sorry,
Mike.
Sorry.
I'd have to agree with you. Let me ask you this, gentlemen.
Yes.
When was the first time, Mike, you ever went to Disney World or Disneyland?
Mm-hmm.
When I was 13 years old, I was taken by my parents.
I've seen a picture. You wore a sport jacket.
I wore a sport coat in Disneyland. In Disney, Disneyland.
Did you hear Epcot Center was formal?
No,
business casual.
And I think that we went twice, like in my early 10 to 13.
Okay,
we went twice, and it was the great.
Okay,
that's what I always wanted to do as a child.
Yes.
What? How old were you?
Sorry, I'm going to piss people off again.
How old were you, Rob, when you went?
We went. That was Robert's Make-A-Wish trip. That's the only time I've ever been to a Disney property. So that was about 10 years ago. So that would be I would have been 37.
Okay, I went when I was 12.
As
so
a kid.
we have this. No, I would have liked to go when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most kids would. I think.
Yes.
I think I seem to remember multiple years watching the commercials on TV, watching the Wonderful World of Disney, which for a while was like a
commercial
a promo for Disney World. I think I'm old enough to remember when they were building the thing and they were talking about Disneyland.
Oh yeah,
Disney World.
Disney World was being built in the late '60s, and that's
we'll
also
have a series of monorails going through this.
I would watch the commercial, be like, I guess they don't let Latinos in because all the kids are white.
I've seen old episodes of The Wonderful World of Disney, and what would happen is Walt would put out his cigarette, and then the show would start, and he would say...
You know what it was before it was The Wonderful World of Disney? I bet you don't.
It was called Disneyland. Or the world
the
of color.
Show, the TV.
The wonderful world of color.
World. The world is a multitude of color. Wonderful, beautiful color. It's the wonderful world of color. That's what it was.
Well, we have in common, I think the point I was trying to make,
which, by the way, is the same name they give the Trump administration.
Mike,
there it is.
Maybe we're all jaded.
Oh, here comes the Oscar Santana singers. Wait.
The world is a carousel of color. Wonderful, wonderful color.
Give us your money.
The world is a
Carousel of color. For a small fee, you can skip the lines today.
Maybe we're jealous. We never went as kids, so we don't have those fond memories. We have the awkward.
12 is a kid, 13 is a kid. We went as kids.
Like, I was more interested in the teenagers that were wearing the actual Mickey Mouse ears than I was the rides at that point.
Well,
I was going through puberty. I was like, I wonder why I'm into that more than I'm a
lot younger than you are. I'm a lot older than you are, so I remember that it was that was it.
Yeah, that was before there were regional amusement parks. There wasn't anything of this.
You didn't have Wild World?
Wild World was not there.
When I was like
12, there was only
13,
5 flags at that point.
Hold on a second. When I was 12 or 13, that was all you had. That was you wanted that. That was the Mac Daddy as a kid. Going to Disney was
an hour infomercial on TV every week telling you that you should be there.
There's a reason that you have the Disney Corporation today because of Disney World, because of these films. It became part of the these are the 50-year-olds, the 60-year-olds that love this. So when we talked about childless people going, I shouldn't say childless, adults going,
barren adults, Mike.
It pissed a lot of people off.
Barren?
It just, I mean,
Why
they didn't
say
like
that?
it.
That's so mean.
What, Barron?
What is wrong with this guy?
They're Barron. It made
No
people
vacancy.
angry. It made people angry. I understand that.
They did not like it. They did not like the comment. And then they get defensive. They get into defensive crouch. There was a very common thing, not only that adults go without children, people are saying they like to go to amusement parks by themselves.
When I was in college.
And I could not imagine that.
When I was in college, I remember people, and they were my friends, mostly groups of women, going on spring break to Disney World when they were 18, 19, 20, 21. And I was like, man, I don't think they allow wet T-shirt contests there. I'm going to Cancun.
It's a different mood.
Well, but that's it. But, this guy writes, why is it wrong for adults with no kids to enjoy Disney? I don't think I ever said it's wrong.
You just
I said it's
curious
just not,
about whether or not those were the people that were writing. Yeah.
It's something I wouldn't do, and
it's actually, I would say, a more expensive vacation.
Oh, it's very costly.
Right?
Yeah. The one thing that I remember from my trip.
Writes, Disney isn't a problem. Brian Farnath writes, Disney isn't a problem. When you start going to Sesame Street live without kids, it's time to reevaluate your life choices.
My favorite comment was actually from show regular Steve Mermelstein, who wrote, I'm often feeling nostalgic and wanting to go back, but then I think of the heat, walking, humidity, walking, thunderstorms, walking, lines, walking, screaming, crying, germ-spreading kids, walking, and the overpriced everything plus all the walking. So I just watch a couple videos on YouTube, and I'm okay for a couple months.
If you recall, I went to Animal Kingdom. Maybe on the show, I'm
that's
the most
right.
recent
the
to have
last time
gone.
you were in Florida.
And I said it was fun, but it wasn't. It was fun because you could drink and hang out, but it wasn't the type of fun that I thought, wow.
I was not.
Now, there are new amusements. Let's be fair here. There are new. If you are
it's an amusement park,
fan
Mike.
of the Fast and the Furious,
there's a nightclub island they're for adults with booze.
Pleasure Island.
Are you into Star
Pleasure
Wars?
Island.
They have a $650 behind the scenes Star Wars.
their Star Wars stuff is great.
Extravaganza for the day. So if you're into that, and I wouldn't mind going to see something from the X-Men.
Yeah.
Right? That would be fun.
When I went, the one thing I remember is that it was very clean. The rides were very well run. It was really hot. But my one memory of the happiest place on earth was Robert, who was still on steroids at the time because he was coming down off chemotherapy.
Yes.
I had to physically hold him in a bear hug from behind because he was raging out that bad and screaming in a crowded theme park, "You're hurting me! My father is hurting me!" And I looked at Carrie and I said, happiest place on earth.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people.
Smoke pot when you're 14.
It's just people.
Spark up,
people. What's Club 33 access?
Club 33 is the private restaurant that's sort of hidden off Main Street. No, there's none of that, Oscar. And it's the only place I think on the park, the actual Magic Kingdom's property, where you can get a drink. And I think that's Disneyland, not Disney World.
Right.
There's a show going on here that you don't even see.
Magnificent.
Let me put it to you this way: they're implying that Mickey and Minnie have taken the relationship to the next level. Yeah.
They don't just sell the Mickey Mouse ears.
No.
You know what?
They sell
This
things
is
that
just
strap on.
like this is like someone saying they don't like a particular sport. If you go to Disney, it is perfectly acceptable.
Yes.
It is nothing. I just made a comment that was trying to be. I'm trying to do some shtick here.
Hey, do a show.
That's it.
And by the way, you can throw darts at me when you talk about going and riding Space Mountain 10 times. I'm saying, boy, that's a little unusual for for an adult to do that. Yeah, you can write me an email and say it's a little unusual for a man to drink a bottle of whiskey sitting at a bar in an afternoon. Okay, so we all have our little.
I think
things
each of
that
us
we
should
do.
jump on an elliptical. Once
I think actually the truth falls in the middle, Mike, because I'm the guy that will ride Space Mountain, but only after drinking the bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, you can do both if you're Rob Spiewak.
That's right. Live it up.
Spiked lemonade.
But it's all
everywhere.
leading up to your cruise, and they do have booze on the Disney, but they don't have gambling, correct?
No, but when at some of the excursions, the ports have gambling, so you can get off the boat.
That's the real hardcore. That's going to have to take the tender into the port of call.
But what I'm going to do to save time, I'm just going to take about $400 and throw it over the boat, and then I don't have to actually make the excursion.
Did you bring the GHB for Carrie?
The GHB? Mm-hmm. What is that?
Oh, you're so innocent, so sweet.
Yeah.
It's
George Herbert Bush?
It's like we're Hypnol.
Oh no! She gives that to me. You see, here's the thing, Mike. Is Carrie
pass out?
Carrie roofies me, and after I pass out, she still doesn't do anything.
Jeremy Selvage
Yes.
is a real active guy.
He is. You see his name a
on
lot.
Facebook, and he takes some shots, doesn't he? Occasionally, Rob
I think so,
Spiewak,
yes. Yeah.
he does that. He's the guy here. He's
What did he
really
write?
into it.
Yeah, King
He's
Mixer?
just into Disney. He's really into Disney, like super into Disney.
Well, you see, and I don't have any problem with Disney as a business, and I like the theme park industry, but I'm not going to be there trading pins. I'm not going to be there and doing all that Disney stuff, looking for the hidden
But if you
Mickeys on the
had-
boat.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere.
Maybe the obsession, if you have a kid and you can save the shekels and you can take them to meet a princess inside the top tier of the Disney castle, which I think is available as like a dream.
Yeah, they've turned it into like a suite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
it's great.
if you had a kid and you could do that, that would be fun to see.
I guess.
And it's all about convenience for certain people. If you don't mind the lines or you fast pass it, or frankly, if you're lucky enough and more fortunate enough to have these exclusive passes, which roughly I think cost $600 a person, even for kids, where you don't have to wait in line.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Well, I think I've mentioned this before. When we went on the Make-A-Wish trip, they give you this huge Make-A-Wish thing you wear on a lanyard.
Yes.
And they always wave you to the front of the line. And 2 or 3 times, they'll just say, "You want to go again?" They would just let us stay on the ride. So that was pretty amazing.
Do you get food for free as well?
10% off. If you have a full spread, if you have cancer, you get 10% off anything in the park.
Oh my god! Can you rent a kid? Rent a cancer kid?
That's nice of them.
No, actually, no. There was no discount on food or merchandise. However, the Make-A-Wish Foundation puts you up in a place that has free food.
That's crazy.
But you have to pay if you want to eat on property, as they say.
That's terrific. Well, for those people, there were so many of them. That
We
got
just gave them a
sensitive
full
about
commercial.
Yeah,
me doing that.
And remember,
enjoy
Mike,
your Disney.
Club
you don't-
33.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And if you
and some of this,
if you can maintain the innocence of childhood, I salute you. I wish I wasn't as jaded and bitter and cynical.
Make sure you
listen
stretch
to-
out.
And the weird
Listen
thing
to-
is I'm not ready for the trip yet because I haven't picked out what sport jacket I'm bringing for the park.
and don't forget your red, white, and blue cap.
Hello, everybody. This is Bob Barker. And yes, I'm still alive. When I was hosting The Price is Right from Television City in Hollywood, we played a lot of pricing games. Barker's Bargain Bar, Hole in One, Punch a Bunch, Grocery Game, Golden Road, Plinko, and of course the lamest one of all, the bonus game. I hated the bonus game. If you want a good bonus, why not try the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show? Blah, blah, blah. I like when they say bad words. That's how much it meant to me. You can buy it at MikeO'MaraShow.com. It's a fun way to support TMOS. Thank you. And don't forget to help control the internet population. Have your podcasters spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
The best of O'Mara.
This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show brought to you by Spiewak Roadside Assistance. Yes, if you're broken down on your Monday morning commute, call Spiewak Roadside Assistance. Rob will be at your location in less than 10 minutes. Was it less than 10 minutes?
It wasn't.
No. Oh, okay. 20?
There was some communication errors at play.
Oh, really?
Oh, let me stop that
Mainly
music.
with Waze.
Well,
it's Waze's fault?
Yep.
Well, what happens is...
Let me just say, hold on.
Yeah.
The I would like to demonstrate. And by the way, it's easy for me to turn off my my sound when I'm doing my sitting there doing show prep. But the Pony broke down today on the side of the road.
So mentally.
Yes.
My
nervous
yes,
breakdown.
a mental breakdown. I hear on my phone blip 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 blip. There is this clown college of exchanges going forth. You broke down on MacArthur Boulevard. Is that correct?
Yes.
People should know, Mike, MacArthur Boulevard is a very long road.
Indeed.
And Pony, his car quit. He immediately attributed it to what happened to me in Florida. Pony, if you remember correctly, the gist of my story, which you forgot, was that I ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was an alternator.
Yours was yours an alternator?
Yeah, it had a.
Do you know that yet? Do you know that for
Did you
sure?
jack up the car and say,
I've
"Oh,
seen
look,
it
you're
happen.
out"?
I've seen it happen.
So you
to
don't
other
know for
people's
sure.
cars.
You might have run. Did you have plenty of fuel?
I filled up this morning.
Oh,
Okay, so that covers that.
Nothing like breaking
covers
down
that.
with a full tank.
So your car broke down. Do you maintain your car regularly? Oil changes, that type of thing?
I do. I just got an oil change on Friday.
When's the last time you
listen to
changed your
that.
wiper blades?
Probably a month and a half.
Oh, so you're
Hey,
ready for
I had
winter.
this happen. I had this happen with a Jeep. Where did you get your oil change? Did you get it at one of those box stores? Like
Jiffy Lube.
Oh.
Maybe they
Do you
cut some
know I
wires.
got my oil changed at Jiffy Lube and they didn't put the cap back on?
I remember that.
And my engine seized.
Seized.
On the side of my face.
It is interesting that you went there this weekend and then now your car broke down.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how that works out. Almost like maybe.
But you aren't laughing.
No, I'm not laughing.
So is your car stranded as we speak?
Yeah, my car's on the side of MacArthur Boulevard. I'm
Do you want to give the
glad-
exact location so fans can see it?
Yeah.
No.
A celebrity
Or help.
car sighting.
Yes.
Or
or give the directions you gave me and no one will see it.
well, yeah.
So Rob, it took you a while to get to him because he was incapable
What were his
of saying where he
directions?
was.
He said, I said, did you come in on Clara Barton, which we all do,
Yes.
which is a
Yes.
road that connects the Beltway to the city? He said, yeah. He said, and then I went up the access road. I said, okay. And when you went up the access road to MacArthur, left or right? And he said, just to the right. I said, fantastic. How far? He
So
said,
that would tell me that I'm coming off the Canal Road,
right.
and I'm going up that hill, and I'm taking a right, and there he is. That's what that would tell me.
Well, it turns out, as now we both know, there are more than one access roads for
Yeah.
up to MacArthur
Yeah, you
Boulevard.
can go Sibley. You can go towards Sibley, right?
That's the one we normally use. That's the one I normally use.
that's the one where you kind of go back the back way, right?
So I went up the normal way, and I took the right, and I went probably, he said it was about 1/10 of a mile. I went about 3 miles and didn't see him. And I said, I'm almost to the Classical Music Exxon. He says, oh, no, you've gone way too far. So I go back, and I go past Glen Echo and the restaurant. And
so you go way back. You're thinking he's like down on the main drag there, and you're going way back almost to the Beltway.
And he says, I just saw it. I said, well, send me your address on, he says, I'll send it to you on Waze. And Waze falls deadly silent. I said, well, send it to me on Google Maps. Great. So he sends me an address range on Google Maps, and I go there, and he ain't there.
Oh, no.
And then he says, well, I'm near a baseball field or something. And I said, I drive this road every day, and I've never once seen a baseball field. Do you see?
Are you down near all that Navy communication stuff? Is that where you are?
No. So finally I say, do you see a cross street of any sort? He says, yes, Clara Barton Access. I said, that's where I am. And he says, well, I'm near a certain park, and he names me the park. I say, aha. ha! So I put the park into navigation, and yes, there he is, only 4 miles from where I was looking for him beginning.
Pony, why are you so geographically challenged?
I'm not geographically challenged. I was just freaking out.
And you know what?
You're a grown man.
It was really sad to see him.
It was definitely the goat show. It was something else. It was really to back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, I mean,
It was fun.
what about just saying, "Hey, Rob, get to work. I'll take an Uber in." Like by that time, that'll all work out. But you were
really
like a bloodhound, right?
You think that would happen?
Rob
I
looked
would have done
He looks
Meanwhile, it should be pointed out.
Yeah, we get a
It
text
should-
at 9:30 says, "I'm at the aquarium."
By the way, it should be pointed out that Oscar and I knowledgeably stay completely out of the fray.
Oh, yeah.
With two similar messages. I say early on, stay safe. Oscar says a
didn't
little
mean
later on, be safe, guys. We want nothing
And somewhere there was
to
a thumbs
do
up.
with any of this.
Yeah, there was a thumbs up.
Pony
somewhere.
gave a thumbs up.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right.
I would say I thought about going to pick him up, and then I said, he's going to ruin this. I'm going to
No,
go to
but,
work.
I mean, the logical pickup is Rob's field because he's
on the
right
way.
behind him.
Yeah.
Well, if he was where he said he was, it would have been perfectly on the way. But he
And
wasn't
this is
there.
and we get the breakdown occurs at 6:46 a.m., which means Rob Spiewak is probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes behind you. So it's
That's
perfect.
about right, yeah. That's
It's
about right.
perfect. Where did the breakdown occur as far as you're communicating your location? Did you feel the pressure of communicating your location to Rob Spiewak, Pony Boy?
Well, no. What I did was I sent my location with Waze, which apparently does absolutely nothing.
I'm sure I'll get it tomorrow.
We're
Yeah.
slaves to our technology.
I think
Yes.
if we start looking at cross streets, that's the best way to work.
I asked him, but remember, the cross street was vague. It was marvelously vague.
It was an access road.
Yeah.
That is a tell Todd Moore
Yeah.
right now that is
Pain
an
point.
app. What is there? It's called Pinpoint.
No, it's a pain. It's a pain point.
A pain point. No,
Yes,
but
that
what
you
about
can
what a great
fix.
name for the app? Trademark it. Pinpoint.
No. Pain point. Pinpoint is how to find somebody, and that's called Find My Friends. You can just do that for free from Apple.
Well, why didn't you find my friends?
Because I don't
We're not
really,
friends.
I don't consider him a friend. Now, if they had an app called Locate Your Acquaintance, then maybe I'm using it.
So what was the real? So the technology let you. I mean, Rob, you're the person to discuss this.
who's
I
at
wasn't
fault?
there. Yeah, it's all about blame on this show. Come on now.
We had to
Listen
talk
to poor
it out.
Adrian, what he went through over the weekend. The poor
That's
lad.
true. That's true. Well, you know what? I don't feel bad about that. He wouldn't even
Okay.
be on Locate My Acquaintance.
All right, now stop it, please.
It would
Please
be,
behave
where's
yourself.
that cohort?
That boy has taken enough heat, as far as I'm concerned.
What it boiled down to is when I finally said, all right, Pony, the address range isn't working. You're not where I think you said you were. Are there any landmarks by you? And he gave me the name of a certain park, and I put that into navigation and then started in that way. And then I said, wait, are you near a very narrow bridge over the Cabin John River or creek or whatever
Yeah,
it
great
is?
call.
And he said, yes. I said, good. I'm 2 minutes away. And then 5 minutes later, the light changed, and I picked him up. I love, you know what? As fun as my drive is on a daily basis, it's really savory when you get back into the neighborhoods of Northwest. That's fun.
yeah.
I love to see not just a crumbling infrastructure, but one that was inadequate before it crumbled.
Well, I'm glad
How
you brought
many
up.
one-way streets can I be on today? All of them?
I'm glad you brought up crumbling because
Yes.
I am taking a bite of toast, as Rob calls me. And Rob calls me, and the phone rings, and I answer the phone, and Rob says, Pony.
Now,
and,
I have a question. When I call you
Yeah.
and it's prior to 7 in the morning, when
Yeah.
I call you that early, I know you're
Yeah.
up because you've already
Yeah.
texted.
Right.
Do you pick up the phone with dread? Is there any anticipation?
No, there's
Okay,
never any
okay,
real
good,
dread with
good,
you. It's usually it's with anybody with the show. It's business, so I really don't
Yeah,
dread
let's
it.
make
It's,
this brief.
It's not like the old days.
10 minutes to 8, Mike.
Or Sunday evening. Anyway.
Last day of vacation.
When the phone would ring, Rob and I would both go, No! It's not like that anymore.
No, it's different.
So Rob calls me and goes, Pony, and I begin a laugh, and I suck a piece of toast into my windpipe, which causes a coughing jag that my Uncle Bill Sheehan would look at and go, that's impressive.
Yeah,
and
was
he was
good.
one of the great chokers of all time. I'm choking to the point where my family is alarmed. I am talking to you, and I said, okay, I hope you can deal with it. Thank you.
Yeah, you never gave up. I will say this. You never gave up. You powered through the conversation.
Yeah. You know how Jim Nantz likes his toast?
Really burnt. He has a picture of it in his
I'm the
wallet.
opposite. I like kind of a light kiss of browning on the toast.
Oh,
all
the
right?
Maillard effect, yes.
I'm not blaming it on the toast. I'm blaming it on you calling me when I had a mouthful of food and really trying to grab a last bite of toast right before that phone call was answered.
Yeah.
And then I inhaled, and it's still laying on my esophagus right now.
So did it? You know what? As they used to say, it went down the wrong pipe, which I always
It
thought
went
was
down
a
the wrong
gross
pipe,
expression.
and I was just blown away by how much I was hacking. Like into the shower, I was hacking. But you know, it could be worse. I could be sitting on the side of MacArthur Boulevard.
Yeah. With an effed up back and an angry coworker.
Oh, you're going to bring up your back, too?
What happened to your back?
Yeah, you
your
gotta
waif like. What could hurt that?
I don't even know. I have no
You
idea.
slept wrong? Maybe you slept wrong with
I think
your...
I slept wrong.
I like it when our Bolivian bloviator uses a term that I've used. I feel like it's my boy growing up. Waif-like. Waif-like is...
Like I like my women.
Waif-like is...
Yeah.
Waif-like.
Yeah.
So, Tony,
skinny.
you have back issues?
Have you been sitting on your wallet?
I don't know what I did. I just know I hurt my back, and the first thing I said when I got in the car is, I don't want to spend too much time in the car today because this is agonizingly
Oh my
painful.
God, pain.
It's like everything.
Is it your
just
lower
kinda-
back?
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea.
Right
what
above
I
your
could have possibly
magnificent
done.
ass?
Yes.
Your where's your sugar glider these days?
In her cage.
Is she sleeping with you? Maybe that
No.
got your
No.
back all jacked up.
How did you hurt
I
your
don't know how
back?
that would happen.
Hold on. How did you hurt your back in the
I don't know.
first place?
Working on a computer.
Oh, you're hunched over.
No idea.
You're
The
hunched
good news
over.
is, Mike, he
That's
got
gotta
his
be it.
wish. He said he didn't want to spend too much time in his car, and halfway the way to work, he got to get out of his car.
Putty, what is the game plan for after work today?
I don't know. I think Rob, you offered to drive me home.
Yes,
Car
of course.
I
fire?
appreciate that very much. And then I'm going to see how much Subaru wants to bilk me for. And
Okay,
then
what
we'll,
about the car?
He's already arranged for the tow. I
Okay,
watched
that's
him
what
in
we want-
action.
that's what we
watched
want
him
to ask, yeah.
in action.
It's bad tow truck.
Oh,
That's
that
bad
website?
tow
Oh,
truck.
don't go there if you're at work. That is a not safe for work website.
Bad tow truck. Really? Is that a real website? I'm gonna
Oh,
check that
yeah.
out.
Do not do that.
How about, is there one called Camel Tow Truck?
Oh, God. You know what? We've got a lady present today. You're a monster.
I know.
I know.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
He forgets.
Aren't you
He completely
aware?
forgets.
Aren't you aware of the climate, Rob? The climate we have.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very cold
It's a
outside.
cigarette thing.
By the way, Rob, I have to compliment you. That is a beautiful red hoodie that you're wearing.
Thank you very much.
That's festive.
Thank you.
it's,
Well, you know,
are
it is the holidays.
It is the holidays. That's right. Yeah. And by the way, you know, every time a tow truck driver smokes a cigarette, Tony gets his car towed.
Honey Jurgensen, good to see you. Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
Hot dog.
Sonny was a great quarterback.
Accustomed to getting his way.
A man who probably had permanent damage done to his ass because of the amount of kissing for his
true.
entire life.
Excuse me, Mr. Jurgensen. My name is Rob Spiewak, and he holds up his hand like Caesar. He says, I know who you are. He waves to me, but he never takes the plum out of his mouth. Getting kind of crowded in here, Jim. Getting kind of crowded. Hot dog.
If there was a podcast Hall of Fame, the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show would be the first inductee. It's what keeps the daily TMOS episodes coming to your device every day. Order a Bonus Show subscription today at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
The best of O'Mara.
Yesterday, I was overdue. To get a little haircut-a-roo.
So you've only been in Florida for about 5 days now, right? That's how long you've
Yes.
been back? So things have settled pretty much and you're back into your routines?
Yeah, I like being down here. I like doing the show down here. I have dedicated space for what I do down here, and it's just, this is home now, and this is, it feels more like home every year that we come back down here. We're still basically within the 5-year mark of being residents of West South Florida, and, I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I like the crazies. Anyway,
What's the year mark, a line of demarcation to become an actual? You know, people say you have to live in New York City to be an actual New York for at least 10 years.
Yeah,
what do they
that's
say for
kind of
Florida?
I don't know.
Floridian.
I mean,
No one ever lives in Florida for 10 years, so
I
it's kinda
know,
long.
I know.
They usually
I'm going to
move
live
down there
here.
and pass away.
Well, I was going to say you stole that, but I'm going to live here and I'm going to die here. I think there's Every chance. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm everybody that lives down here is 2 in a row good hurricanes and we're out of here. That's the way that works, Then it's like
bloom is off the rose.
Yeah. And then by the way, if that happens, I'm moving to the desert. That's what I'm doing.
Really?
Phoenix?
So, that's it. Yeah.
Yes!
Oh, absolutely.
Scottsdale!
Yeah. Phoenix, Palm Springs, something like that. Yeah, I'd move out there. That's exactly what I do.
Man, I would love to have to go out there and fix your studio.
The only thing, if I moved out west, I might not see my family as frequently. But anyway, so I am planning to.
That's also a dry heat.
Yeah, that's a dry heat. That's a real dry heat. So we came back down, and this is the week. It's really been kind of cute. As I joke about my son being home, it is kind of the preparation for school week down here. And she brings out these it's great because it's just after the back to school thing. So they're kind of knocking their prices down. And we have the little guy who's growing like a weed and getting all of his, what's happening outside, Rob? What are you looking at? What's
Nothing.
going on?
I just checked. Someone's walking around out there.
Okay.
You're such a horn dog. Sarah Fraser walked by in a shiny top and he couldn't handle himself.
He can't help himself.
Pony, get Sarah Fraser in here because clearly Rob wants a better look.
Are you going to
put her on the mic? Put her on the mic. Please put her.
Please come here.
Have her sit right next to you so Mike can see her. Please.
Yeah, please. Can you swing it around?
Yeah, swing around right here.
Swing that chair around for me. Come on over here.
You got headphones on Ms. Fraser?
Yes, she's got to put headphones on right now.
Now I understand.
Yes.
Look at her. She's ready for the red carpet, all sparkly and all that.
I mean, she looks almost Elvis-y in that outfit.
Hi, Mike. This is my podcast cruise look. This is my yacht rock look.
Look at that. You're so sparkly. So Rob Spiewak, with the camera set up, with these guys being in D.C., and I'm down in my studio, I can see the eye movement. And when I'm looking at Rob, I have literally my camera view of Rob Spiewak is a direct view into his specs. I can look right in his eye.
And my soul.
When I see the eyes start to shift, I'm always curious, is there some sort of fire outside?
Is there a problem?
There's no problem, save for the fact that outside the window of this studio, a golden woman just walked by.
Yeah.
Oscar busted Rob out so totally just now because Rob's eyes were going back
wasn't
and
it the way he did it so fast?
He is so steamed up for you.
I understand
He cannot control himself while he's doing a broadcast.
That's right. Well, we have a history.
We do have a history. I was going to say, Lester, we have kind of an acting chemistry.
That's right. You do.
We do.
We have a special relationship. We were actually introduced to each other by Judd Apatow, a guy we've both worked for.
I am so jealous. I will always be forever jealous that, if I had the initiative and the love of my coworkers to actually stay in the same room with them and stay in DC, stay behind,
yes.
I would have maybe gotten that role.
You would have. You would be the one that's here. Yeah.
And and I have an acting family, so it's very, very frustrating. Well, you have an acting family too. So he was looking at you. You look fantastic. How is the okay, you had to tip it in. You had to tip it in. He had to do, doesn't she? Isn't she? Isn't she gorgeous?
You know what she is?
Fantastic.
Sarah, I say this as a friend. You're a knockout.
Oh, no.
Rob,
Anyway.
thank you so
Go to
much.
HR.
All right,
God.
Who's
I'm
that,
gonna throw
Oscar?
up.
Yes.
I think she is HR, isn't she?
Boo.
Yeah, I am HR here.
Phrase. I want to compliment your compatriot Leslie Akendo, who is doing some work for us as well, and both of you have been just a wonderful addition to our show. And
Fantastic.
I know everybody at Podcast Village loves you guys, and you're doing a great job. But please, when you come in and you're wearing sparkles and you walk in front of Rob Spiewak, he is unable to maintain
Full
his
burqa
professionalism.
from now on.
Please.
Full burqa.
No problem.
Yeah. During show times from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. burqa.
I'm actually worried though. I think like the eyes are enough though to turn Rob on. So even the full burqa, like I feel like I don't even know. Like
he is blushing. He is blushing now. This is great.
I've been married a very long time. A very long time.
I know, but it's the eyes. Like I feel like people say that to me. That's the most attractive
Why don't you
quality.
look at her when she's talking to you, man?
Because I'm afraid what might happen.
Yeah. Oh God! Stop it! Get out of here, Phrase. Get out of here right now.
Bye, Mike.
Oh my God!
Save
Bye-bye.
yourself.
Her podcast
Save yourself.
Her podcast is Hey Phrase. Check it out. She is one of the funniest women I know. Absolutely brilliant. And so that's it. What were you doing? Is everything all right with the machine, or did you?
Yeah, I
knock
turned
it
the
out,
volume down on the headphones because otherwise we hear the headphones in the
back.
studio.
I got it. You're maintaining the integrity of the broadcast.
Of the broadcast.
Exactly.
You can't keep your eyes on Mike, but you can turn down the headphones.
Right.
No, it's so subtle. He thinks he can get away with it, but he can't.
It's the same way a man looks at another woman, checks her out when he thinks his wife isn't paying attention. That's how you got busted.
What if you know your wife isn't paying attention for the last 20 years?
So anyway, now this little tale that I will tell you.
Yes.
We come down here and we're getting the little guy ready for school, and so my wife is doing the routine things you do. It's why you have barbershops that are absolutely jammed the week before school. Everybody wants to get their preschool haircut. So we have this lady named Stephanie that we go, and both my son and I get our haircut from Stephanie. And it's probably 6 times maybe that she's cut my hair.
Okay.
And between my son and I, it's probably in the double digits now where he's gotten haircuts. And I always told the story about how marvelous it is to watch my son go to this barbershop because he converses with her like he's an adult.
Oh, that's
and she
cool.
talks to him like she's an adult. And they have these running dialogues, and we always think it's really, really special. And we always go to her.
Right.
Now, with that said, outside of the engagement with my son where she's going back and forth and it's cute, there hasn't been what I would describe as anything out of the ordinary where, there's a friendship or anything like that. But there is, in my estimation, a regular customer bond that forms. And so he goes and gets his haircut, my little guy. I don't know whether it was Monday or whether it was Tuesday.
Is it a Supercuts or a salon?
I think it's a Supercuts.
Oh,
okay, so it's like a franchise of some deal.
And so yesterday, I venture out into the 113 degree heat index.
Yes.
And I get done with the show, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little shaggy from the great state of Maine. It might be a good idea for me to blast over there. Usually, you got to check with the schedules, but I'll take a chance and see if this lady is there at the salon, at the barbershop to take care of me.
Yes, at the appointed time.
And so I walk in and I say, "Is so and so here, Stephanie? Is she here?" Because I see her chair in the back left corner is not occupied.
Ooh.
And sometimes they're going out for lunch
break,
or they're out there, but she's not there. And I'm like, oh, bummer.
Right.
And I'm probably going to get my hair cut from anybody that's in there. And then she comes from the back, and I greet as though I've seen someone that I haven't seen in an entire summer.
Sometime, right.
And I say, "Hey, how are you?" And I put my hand up like this. And there's really not, I think the greeting was something like, "Hello." And she walks up to the counter, and I'm sitting there going, "Okay." And then she says, "Can I have the last name, please?"
Oh no!
Can I have the last name?
Well,
please?
then.
Yeah,
it was,
after double digits on visits. Yeah.
Wow.
Last name.
It was very,
You're
very
so
sad. It was
memorable.
I know. She likes the little guy, but then I sit
Do you
down
think
in
if
a
you
chair.
had had the little guy with you, would she have known the name O'Mara?
Well, here's what she said. I get over to the chair, and I'm like, look, she's competent and she's great at what she does, so that's really all I care about.
Sure.
And I'm just glad she's there because she knows how to cut hair, and she's really good, and she's quick. And I like the fact that both of us are kind of glass half empty, prickly, hate our fellow man people, which makes the conversation always fun because you just bitch. She bitches, I bitch, she bitches, I bitch, she bitch. And so we're going back and forth. And then I sit down in the chair, and I said, "So how was your summer?" And she goes, "It was okay. You were in Maine, right?" And I realized suddenly that, okay, she did make the connection, but it's not, it's not effusive. It's not something where I'm getting it. Not that I want that from somebody cutting hair.
Do you think she knew you were Maine? Did she know you were doing the Maine thing when she asked for your last name?
I don't know.
Maybe
I
you
felt
like
when
fell
she
into
asked for my
context.
last name, she didn't know who the hell I was.
Yeah, and why would you need a last name to cut your hair anyway?
But the first question she said was, "What are we doing today?" You cutting my hair like the last 6 times you cut it. Come on, hey. What's going on?
Hey. The sheer volume of people that go in and out of
You're right.
salon or barbershop.
Because, Mike, it is a super cuts.
How much time do we have left in this break?
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
This is where I'll ask you for a little advice when it comes to names.
Yes.
There are a handful of people that work here with different shows for Podcast Village.
You just had one of them on the show.
I get tapped on the shoulder. I won't name the show by someone that says, "Look, if they're looking for, we have one of our producers that's looking for part-time work." And I said, "All right, have a meet with me a couple days ago." So I meet with the gentleman, and there's enough people that they don't know who it is.
Okay.
And I say, this is where we're at. We're possibly looking for editors down the pipeline, maybe in Q1 of next year. But let's see what your skill set is, right? And very professional and formal. And I said, I'll text you, let you know if we have any availability to go over this in the next few days.
Right.
So he said, I'm in X day. Please text me. I get his number. I text him. I said, we're good to go for tomorrow. So-and-so will be connecting with you. And he says, thank you, Carlos. And
no!
Oh no! Oh wow!
I'm not thin-skinned. We grow up in this business. We take a lot. I realize some of these young
that's a long time since you dealt with that.
These young bucks are they got to learn a few things, and maybe this is a teachable moment.
By the way, that's the name of our waiter at Guanamia.
A good name. Good name.
And
right?
I remembered it. And I didn't call him, I didn't say you're Carlos, right? Because I remembered his name.
Yeah.
But it also is the definitive, next to Jose, the definitive stereotypical Hispanic name, which this guy called. So I don't think he'll be visiting with us in quarter one.
So I'm asking you, and I write back, because I don't have time. Like I said, I may or may not broach this with him when we connect. Say, if you're looking for a job from
Carlos
someone,
Santana.
If you're looking for,
You mean you're going to let him come back? You're going to be thick-skinned enough?
Thick-skinned.
Is he talented?
I don't know yet, but I think as a mentor or a boss, you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. So I write back.
How old is he?
23.
Yeah, okay, slacker.
Well, I had a similar run-in with him because he said, do you know if they're hiring at Podcast Village for any part-time editors? And I said, I think so. And he said, okay, thank you, fat ass.
Then he ran.
He ran away laughing.
This is the coup d'etat, though. I write back, Oscar, a funny LOL.
Yes.
I said, let's connect tomorrow. And he writes, this is, and I have to pull it up because it was pretty shocking to me. This is what he
I hope
writes.
he apologized, for Christ's sake.
So this is going to be weird. And again, if he's listening right now, this is what happens. So
name recognition is not my greatest skill.
Okay. He says, oops, OOOPS, period. Sorry, period. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Buddy!
Oh, I don't let him back in the goddamn door, and I'm not letting you do that. You don't let that hump back in the door. That millennial douche.
Thanks, buddy.
Want more? Make sure you check out The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.